You're welcome to DBA TV, where we discuss everything international trade. In this series, you are going to be learning about what each of the Nigerian states have to offer as far as export is concerned. You know, I have maintained that Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars and that they can be self-sufficient, but you know, because a number of governors comes in with not the intention of generating income, but with the intention of sharing the money. But in this particular episode, we have put together a series of video for all the Nigerian states from Abia to Zamfara. And this will enable the new governors that are coming in, or the new administration in different states of the country, to be able to take a cue from what we've shared in this video, which, by the way, covers the peculiarity of each state apart from the preamble. It talks about the profile of the profit, of the debt and income of the state. It talks about the potential of the state. It talks about the purchaser of the product the state have to offer, and of course, the exportable product, and also the proposal we have for the state, and how the state can directly profit from exporting raw materials, manufactured goods, solid minerals, and agri-commodity. I believe this will be of interest to you and maybe to your governor or to commissioner, whoever it is in your state. Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy yourself as you learn through what maybe your state is what we are looking at today, what Nigerian state have to offer. Happy listening. Thank you very much. So we have preamble as usual, basically talking about why Bauchi state need to export. Then peculiarity of the state in terms of the local government, the product they have and the like, the opportunities in the state, then the potential. So the profile. There we're talking about debt profile, the unemployment rate, and what the state is not doing right. Then the potential, talking about the product that are exporting from Bauchi state, and then the purchasers, those products that Charles State can export, who are those buying, and what is the volume of the market, or what's the volume of the market size of the demand of these products from around the world. Then our proposal every week, we have a proposal to the governor or to the people of the state on how they can generate income with export and also create jobs through export. I mean, the state generating income directly from export and also creating jobs in the process. Then we round up with the profit. What is the benefit of exporting to the state? Typically, we use one product and do an analysis of the product based on the data available from the agronomists and the research they've done on the economic importance of some of these products in terms of farming, in terms of profitability, cost, and then we add the export part to it. So arrive at the figure we believe is a possibility for the state in terms of income generation driven by export. So we move on to Bauchi state now. Bauchi state can avoid depending on federal allocation through export. This state is very much capable of boosting the GDP through export. Export is also able to create employment for SME. Through export, Bauchi state can decrease dependence on domestic market. Through export, Bauchi can earn proceeds and grow revenue for the state. Through export, farming and rural can become more lucrative in Bauchi state. Through export, Bauchi can gain global relevance and market share. Through export, it can become home of creativity and innovation. Through export, it can become an industrialized state because export is an industrialization catalyst. Through export, it can create jobs for youth in the state. Through export, it can know the value of the state's competitive advantage. Through export, it can lead for other states to follow. Through export, It can make this state to be independent of federal government through export. Its exporter can enjoy numerous incentives from the government. Export creates opportunity for Bauchi to maximize its indigenous abroad. Export can help in poverty and eradication to quit the league of state depending on wasting assets like oil, to revive the economy of the state, slow down rural urban migration, enjoy tax-free opportunity, utilization of idle capacity of the company in the state. It can make the state become very viable. Some states in Nigeria are said to be non-viable. It can make the state become very viable. It can be a work creation tool for the state. Can the state to explain the potential product for export, yearn for more improvement because of competition, and zero in on their area of strength. So what do you see in Bauchi State? What do you see in Bauchi State today? People see unemployment in Bauchi State, and I'll show you data of unemployment shortly. There's poverty in Bauchi State. There's frustration in Bauchi State. But you know what? There's also opportunity for farming in Bauchi State. Opportunity for mining in Bauchi State. And as a matter of fact, opportunity for the population. And as a matter of fact, it's opportunity for the population. Serious opportunity for the population. Opportunity in population, and of course, mining and agri. This state have what it takes, but unfortunately, the state is depending heavily, as usual, on federal allocation. You know, this state is one of the states that has a very low IDR compared to what is getting from Abuja. This one is say you can say it's not viable because of the heavy dependence on handout from Abuja. What are the peculiarities of this state? Bauchi State was created in 1976 from the former northern state by General Muritala Mohammed. It originally involved Gombe State, which became a distinct state in 1996. Located in the northeast region, Bauchi covers 4,837 square kilometers. The entire west and northern part of the state are generally mountainous and rocky. This is as a result of closeness of the state to Plateau, Jos Plateau, and of course the Cameroon Mountain. Bauchi is one of the northern states of Nigeria that span two distinct vegetative zones. It's between Sudan and Sahel Savannah. It has 55 tribal groups. Bauchi is derived from Bauchi town. Bauchi town is named after Bauchi, who was a brave hunter during his time and was the first settler in Bauchi before the arrival of Malam Yakubu, the first Bauchi ruler. Bauchi, according to early Hausa translator, means no animal ever escaped the trap and arrow of a hunter, Bauchi, and from which Bauchi was derived. This state is nicknamed Pearl of Tourism. Pearl of Tourism. Total land area is 49,000 square kilometers. Capital is Bauchi. That's 20 local government. Population is about 7 million people, with male being 3.5 and female being 3.4. Vegetation is Sudan and Sahel Savannah. Look at the product in Bauchi State. Millet, sorghum, maize, rice, cotton, hibiscus, gum arabic, garlic, soya beans, sesame seed, pepper, yam, beans, tomato, Sorghum, granite, one state. And you will see the revenue of that state very soon. One state, though, and these are all exportable products with humongous income opportunity for the state. No, the governor will look elsewhere, looking for handout. Solid minerals, barite, gold, tin, columbite, wolfram, coal, limestone, lignite, lead zinc, clay, gypsum, iron. The state is richly blessed with opportunity in agribusiness, healthcare, tourism, energy, and mining. Yes, the name is very interesting. Let's look more into this state. Bauchi State. It has 4.2 million hectares of arable land, high deposits of solid minerals, tourism potential, strategic location, with a gateway border to 7 states. What? 7 states. I remember then when I was in Jigawa, you can access Bauchi from Jigawa. When I was in Jos, you can access Bauchi from Jos. Even in Kano. Bauchi State. Unfortunately, out of the working population of this state, unemployment rate is 34%, underemployment is 30%. Please note something. When they say underemployment, what they mean is that someone working for less than 8 hours does not mean he's paid the right wage, Joe. Even if he's collecting 5,000, 10,000, or 10,000 a month, and he has 3 wives and children, they see it as underemployed. So underemployed plus unemployed, you can do the math. Profile. Let's look at the IGR of this state. The IGR of this state is 12.5%. 12.5% of the total income. 12.5% of the total income. Federal allocation, 62.1. The remaining, of course, will be debt. Debt profile, domestic, over 100 billion. Foreign debt is $134 million. Remember, $1 million is about 600 million naira. So you can do the math. That's almost 70 or 80 million there. So almost 70 or 80 billion there. So almost 200 billion debt for this state alone. Can you see the structure of this state? IGR is 12.5%. Do you know what this means? The state is practically powerless, helpless, without federal allocation. Federal allocation is 62.1. The remaining gap is filled by debt. That is Bauchi State for you. And that is the picture of many states in this country. You know, each time I look at this thing, and I just ask myself, when someone says everything rise and fall with leadership, I agree 110%. Because if the leadership cannot see the opportunity to generate income from the product in the state, because how do you have a state with these huge resources and is incurring this level of debt for unborn generation? It's lack of capacity to harness the potential of the people, mineral resources, and the cultural potential of the state. Basically, that's the issue. And this cut across many states in Nigeria. Look at what budget had to say about this state. According to budget report of Nigerian states, the pearl of tourism renowned with its beautiful vegetable zone and landscape in March 27th in 2021. The state cannot cover its operating expenses. Its operating expenses is 63.64 billion, but its IGR is so small. A combination of its operating expenses of 3.64 billion and loan repayment obligation of 8 billion add up to about 7.1. Wipe out 85% of its total revenue of 84, leaving very limited fiscal space for the state to invest in fiscal infrastructure. See the heavy recurrent expenditure of the state. You know, it's so amazing. A state is not making money, it still have heavy recurrent expenditure. You know, I feel the governor feel, look, what's my business? She been at 4 years I go spend now. When I finish, the person where they come, he go carry the burden. Because the rate of, I'm just imagining this is what their own company, and they're going to manage it for another 5, 10 years, 15 years of their lifetime, and they're going to incur this kind of debt. They just incur debt on necessary. You know, it's one thing when you incur debt on assets that produce enough income to pay back the loan. But when you incur debt on recurrent expenditure, borrow money to share. The state grew its capital spending by 55.11% from 25.41 billion in 2019 to 39.41 billion in 2020. This is the second largest capital expenditure in the Northeast. The state capital expenditure per capita stand at 5,263, which is less than the average capital expenditure of 8,000 for all the states in Nigeria. IGR grew by 6.89 year on year, from 11 to 12.5, when Lagos is doing hundreds of billions. This growth was slower than 20.7% year-on-year growth. The state achieved growing its IGR from 9.69 in 2018 to 11.7 in 2019. Even though Bauchi IGR is larger than other states in the Northeast, Southeast allocation contributed over 70% of the state's $84 billion revenue, making the state disproportionately dependent on federal allocation. So someone will tell me now that Bauchi state is one of the states that is not viable in Nigeria. Of course, I would totally disagree with that. They just have a visionless leader who are not thinking and only there. You know, this is why people will kill themselves to get political appointment in Nigeria. Because you really are not going to do any work. I always say that, look, how do you expect a governor that knows if he sleeps from January 1 to January 31st, he will still be able to pay salary? If he does nothing, how do you, there's no incentive to work. Because there's always money to share, either you work or not. What a country. Of course, this explains the reason why we are having the issue we are having in this country. This explains the reason why, sincerely. Because how do you explain this now? That you can sit down, do nothing, and you can pay salary. So what's the incentive to work? You will do everything possible to get there, so you can recoup the money you pay delegate to get the position. So you can recoup the money. Oh my God. The money you pay delegates to get to that position. Pair of tourism should start looking at ways to address its debt profile that keeps shooting up by the passing year. So year on year, according to budget, this debt has been accumulating debt. And of course, you know it's not sustainable because these debts are not used for developmental purpose. They are used to pay salaries. They are used for security vote. They are used for things that you cannot locate. You can't find. Recurrent expenditure, very, very high. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll come and talk about the potential and, of course, the purchasers of the product that Bauchi has to offer the world.
Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank?
Agriculture dominates the economy of Bauchi State.
Are you at the
millet, sorghum, corn, yam, rice, cassava, tomato, and vegetable are produced in the state. Bauchi is one of the country's main cotton producing states. Coffee and peanuts are the other cash crops that this state produces. Cattle, goats, sheep are raised in the state. From the mid-1970s, irrigation schemes have greatly increased production. Alluvial tin and columbine mining provide minerals for export. Cassiterite, coal, limestone, iron ore, antimony, marble are abundant minerals in the state. Cotton weaving and dyeing, tanning, blacksmithing, agriculture dominates the economy. The state of Bauchi State include meat product, sorghum, meat processing and tanning company, rice, cassava, processed tomato, and vegetable oil, milling and cotton ginning. There is also an assembly plant for commercial vehicles and truck and a cement factory. Bauchi State is an agricultural state. That vast fertile oil, which is another advantage to agri. Like I said earlier, maize, rice, sorghum, irrigation farming also practiced. Let's go over the main crop again. Millet, sorghum, rice, cotton, sugar cane, ginger, hibiscus, gum arabic, garlic, soya beans, sesame seed, pepper, sesame seed, pepper, yam beans, tomato, sorghum, ginger, granite. Solid minerals include kaolin, trona, gypsum, cassiterite, mica, clay, tantalite, galena, that's lead ore, iron ore, gemstone, ferrite, silica sand, barite, columbite, zinc, lead, muscovite, quartz, tin, glass sand, monazite, feldspar, graphite, wolfram, coal, agate, rutile, tungsten, copper, talc, ilmenite, and zircon sand. Now, who are those that purchase this product? And what is the volume they are buying? Both in the world and also in Africa. Rice, 24.7 billion. There are so much potential in Bauchi. It's amazing. It's amazing. 24.7 billion of rice from United States to Germany to France to United Kingdom to Iraq to China to Saudi Arabia to Philippines. How about in Africa alone? A third of that is being consumed. Benin leading. Of course, you and I know that Benin is not the one consuming that rice. Those rice, you see those rice product? They escape into Nigeria. Nigeria is not an importer. It's not supposed to be an importer. But we have a proxy importer. We import by proxy through Benin Republic. How can Benin, smaller than Lagos, the whole of Benin, smaller than Lagos, be importing 12.6% of the total rice consumed in Africa? Of course, you know that Benin cannot be importing 3% of rice in the world as 12% of rice in Africa. It's because those rice are escaping into Nigeria. Sorghum, $866 million. China, Japan, Mexico, Kenya, Spain, Sudan, Somalia, Italy, Mexico are major importers. In Africa, the market is just about $169 million. And who are those doing those imports? Kenya, Sudan, Somalia, South Africa, Djibouti, Uganda, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Rwanda. Now, Nigeria produces sorghum and we import sorghum because it's not enough. Look at this one. You know, this product we are going to now, the next one, that product alone, Bauchi State can survive on it alone, just one product. That product is called cotton. If Bauchi can take just 10% of this market, sorry, 10% of this market will be about $5 billion. 1% of this market will be about $500 million. That's 0.5 billion. That's more than enough for Bauchi State. Because 0.5 billion, that's 300 billion naira. That's more than enough for Bauchi State in a year. This state is exporting, it's not exporting this product, cotton, but the market size of cotton is amazing. About 10% of the import of cotton in the world is imported by African countries, with Egypt and Nigeria leading the way. Who are the major buyers of imported cotton? China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Turkey, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Hong Kong, United States, Mexico, Honduras, Colombia and Peru, Italy, Germany, Russia, Portuguese, France, Spain. In Africa, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, Nigeria, Gambia, Mali, Benin, South Africa, Mauritius, Kenya, and about 10% of the world consumption, $5.1 billion. Another very interesting product is soya beans, $55.2 billion. In Africa alone, 1.73 billion. China is taking up almost 60%. Almost 60%. You know what's happening? Currently, there's war in Ukraine and Russia, and the wheat market is affected. One country took advantage of that. That country has entered the market now and might remain in that market for a very long time because they have come to rescue the world at a time when Ukraine cannot ship, and even Russia's shipment is being affected by sanctions. China alone is consuming 58.2%. Almost 60% of world consumption is taken over by China. And they buy a lot of this from America and from other South American countries. Japan, Thailand, Netherlands, Russia, Italy, Iran, Mexico, Argentina, Egypt are the major buyers. In Africa, Egypt, 83%. A lot is happening in this sector in Egypt. Then Tunisia, Algeria, Nigeria. Before we move on, let's look at sesame seed. This state can take advantage of this market, $3.45 billion. China leading the way in demand, followed by Japan, Turkey, India, South Korea, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. In Europe, France, Germany, Greece, United Kingdom, Russia, Poland, Italy, Spain. The United States and Mexico. In Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Togo, Ghana, Algeria, South Africa are importers of sesame seed. We'll go on a short break again. When we come back, then I will discuss the proposal to Bauchi State government.
Up to 200 FX program of the Central Bank of Nigeria has made it very difficult for many bankers to be able to meet the target because they now need to focus on getting more export customers for the banks. To be able to meet this target, you need to build a capacity to serve export customers' problems. We're happy to inform you that we have a solution for you. It is a bouquet of online certificate classes for trade professionals from Trinity Impact Trade Academy. These courses are affordable, comprehensive, insightful, and engaging with a flexible payment plan. You can register for 1 month access.
He is there as the new governor of the state. It's a big challenge for Nigerian state. When we are thinking of setting up a processing plant, I think the model we use is not inclusive or does not allow for inclusive growth. And it increases the chance of that factory not being put to use after the governor is gone. So in Nigeria, for example, you have a situation in which the same SME or SME 1 and SME 2 do the production of their grain, harvest it, transport it, take it to its warehouse, do the primary processing and storage, then the secondary processing and packaging, do the marketing and sales, logistics, export and distribution. You and I know this is a very unsustainable approach. This approach is going to kill the SME. It's going to make it inefficient, value chain operator, low processing capacity and output, of course, it's SME, few job creations, low quality and packaging, high cost of production, because you cannot enjoy economy of scale, non-competitive product in the export market. This is what we currently see in our country. Look at my proposition. I feel state government should partner with private entity to set up a processing plant in their state, and that processing plant will process one of the very important products where they have an advantage. For SME 1, do the farming, harvesting and transport. To SME 2, SME 2 buy from SME 1 and give it to a large processing facility, which is a shared facility that every SME can bring the same product to come and process, package in their own brand. So SME 1 do the production, harvesting and transport. This large, big factory managed for profit. So they manage for, not for profit, but get paid for sustainability to pay salary and service the factory because it's largely government money. Primary processing and storage, and then secondary processing. Then SME 2 can come and pick up its product after 1 or 2 weeks, ready to be sold or to go into the export market. SME to have time to do is marketing and sale, logistics, export, and distribution in the export market. Now, this creates efficient value chain operator, high quality high production capacity, and high output. Good quality and packaging, low cost of production, competitive product because of the economy of scale, competitive product in the export market, increased job creation because the SME have more to do, big business for them because of the demand, decreasing inequality, and of course, when there's decrease inequality and increased job creation, there will be decreased insecurity. And the insecurity in the country is growing now. It's already in the Southwest. In order to support exporter in your state, Bauchi state, to export to Europe and America, what they need to do? What do they need to do? Partner representative in the export market, set up a warehouse for pickup of wholesaler by wholesaler and retailer at destination. These are what state government can do for their SME in the export market. Set up an entity or agent of display at destination, partner with independent agent at destination, organize and sponsor their manufacturers for exhibition in the export market. Before I close today, how can Bauchi State profit from sesame seed? Look at my recommendation. Bauchi State has a landmass of 1.7 million hectares arable land. If Bauchi used 30% to cultivate sesame seed, agronomists told us that sesame seed yield per hectare is about 1.5 metric tons. That means it can yield 792,000 metric tons of sesame seed. Cost of farming is 60,000 per hectare. To pay farmers with 30% of profit, 61.7 billion. If this sesame seed currently at over $1,000 per metric ton is sold, it can generate $891 million for the state. At exchange rates of 415 official exchange rate, the state can get $353 billion. The budget of this state this year is 195. The IGR in 2020 is 12.05 billion. This state can use sesame seed alone to fund its budget. The cost of exports is about 50,000 per metric ton, plus the cost of farming, 39 plus 67, that's about 101 billion. Subtract that from 353 billion, there is 251 billion available for the state government. The state government does not need to go and look for this money. Give a guarantee to your farmers to produce, and you export, and when you get paid, you pay your farmer with their profit. Look at my recommendation on how this will work. The state government can partner with an SPV. Oh, Mufta, thank you very much. I love that. Please, I will appreciate if you can let me know the cost of farming. We got this from some agronomist reports. So please, I will appreciate if I can get the cost of farming. Thank you very much. State partner with SPV in agree ratio. State provide fund, while SPV provide expertise. SPV form farmers into cooperative across the state. SPV issue purchase order to farmer backed by bank guarantee. SBU provide training, input, and support farmers. SBU provide collection center for harvest. SBU clean and process the product for export. Source for buyers, do documentation, present document to the buyer for payment abroad. SBU pay farmer and share balance to the states, and the state can use his money for development. The impact of the suggested model for state government goes beyond generation of export revenue. It has humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective and efficient enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by federal government at federal level, especially in the export of solid mineral. All right, thank you very much, everyone. We're going to shop break. When we come back, we'll round off. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Professional or a businessman.
Documentation, present document to the buyer for payment abroad. SBU pay farmer and share balance to the states, and the state can use his money for development. The impact of the suggested model for state government